All right, you know how sometimes in videos you see creators go, all right, grab a snack. Let's talk about blah, blah, blah. Honey, you're gonna need to grab a meal, a meal, some electrolytes. Definitely make sure you grab the water. I don't know how long we're gonna be here. I am going to try to make this succinct, which you might know if you've been to my channel before, that that's a little bit harder for me when we're talking about fragrance, but y'all, we have a lot to talk about here. I'm gonna be ranking pretty much all of my 2024 fragrance purchases. And the reason I say pretty much is there are a couple that honestly, I just didn't use enough, like enough times to be able to really put them in the rankings. You know, like if I've only used something 2 or 3 times, unless I hate it, I just don't think I can really rank it. So those are gonna be the ones that are excluded. There are a few, unfortunately. I will probably toss those into the next year. If it's ones that I love, they'll probably just be in a favorites coming soon. So make sure you're subscribed. But we have, y'all, we have over 40 fragrances here. So spoiler alert. So that means if I spend 60 seconds talking about each one, I know that this video is gonna be 40 minutes long. Okay, so without further ado, we are about to dive right in. But if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist and fragrance fanatic / hoarder. And here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. I am not going to be posting all of the notes on all of these fragrances. We might talk about some of them, but I have talked at length about most of these. So what I will do is if there's anything that you're kind of curious about to know more about, I'll have my fragrance playlist linked down in the description. You can peruse and see if there's anything that you wanted to deep dive into further. I will have all of these fragrances linked down below wherever I could find them for the best price for you. 40 fragrances. Okay, so while this is honestly probably almost twice as much fragrance as I purchased in 23, which I did do a rankings video for that as well, I can guarantee you that I spent less money on this because I got a lot of great fragrance deals. Did I need to purchase all of these? No, I really didn't need to purchase any, but I did get some great deals. I have really been diving into dupe fragrances or even just those fragrance houses that have low cost options. I have gotten some amazing Middle Eastern fragrances, which have been a great deal, and also just perused some good fragrance deals in general. So we've already had like a 3-minute intro. So let's go into this. Okay, this last one. So I will say out of all of these, I only have like 3.5 that are absolute no-goes for me. Out of that many, that's not bad considering that pretty much all of these were blind buys. All of them, but I think like 2 of these were blind buys. Now some of them are dupes, so technically I've smelled the original, which doesn't necessarily mean that's what it's gonna smell like in the inspired by or the duped. So let's get into these. The one at the lowest, and this makes me so sad because you guys know that I am a very big Sydney Grace fan, and I was so excited to see that they were bringing out fragrance. I did not purchase technically a single fragrance. I got my fragrance in my mystery bag, and I think they just kind of like threw in random ones because I know people got all sorts of the different ones. Honestly, this is one that I would never have picked for myself. This is Night Jasmine. And you guys, did I even try this on? I think I did maybe once and immediately washed it off. I have to say, I do really like the atomizer has that. This is obviously the travel size. It has that like twist up packaging. Nope. No. So the notes in this are bergamot, cassis, rose, neroli, jasmine, and musk. It could be the neroli in here. I have to be honest, I just also think that it's sort of like the quality of this. Please let me know if you have purchased or you got a mystery bag Sydney Grace fragrance. So I have gotten fragrance samples from indie makeup brands before, or indie fragrance brands that just smell very, very synthetic, very cheap, very like got it at the drugstore. And this smells like that to me. It's very screechy. I don't like it. I can't. Like, I cannot. So I did not. So that is at the bottom. So sorry. I love Sydney Grace, but that's just a no for me. Okay, so this is another one. I just talked about this in my recent haul video, so I'm not going to stick on this one for too long, but Mont Blanc Signature. So Jamie from Not Another Perfume channel, she had recommended this one, and she said it was like orange creamsicle, something like that, which totally sounded like my vibe. I don't get that. I get orange hairspray. I get orange hairspray. Now, in this is the top notes of clementine, heart notes of magnolia, peony, lang lang, and the base is benzoin, white musk, and vanilla. I would think of this as a creamy citrus with some floral notes, but there is just something when it's on, it's very much like this, like that screechy vibe. This is better. This is better. If I had to, I'd rather wear this one than that one, but it's just a no for me. And I am just finding that some of the like quote unquote designer fragrances anymore to my nose have that very synthetic perfume vibe. I don't know. I have a feeling that there are a lot of people who would like this one. There's just something in this that I don't like. So it's a no for me. So that is nothing, by the way, on Jamie. There are several perfumes in here that I have purchased after watching her videos, and I'm very happy with them. That's just one that my nose just says no. Okay, so this one from Dua, this is Creamy Rice Pudding. When I first got this one, I think this was in my first haul from Dua. So when I was in Chicago at Murs, like smelling a bunch of smells, the associate gave me 2 fragrances to try that had a rice note in them. And I loved it. I thought it was so unique, very like cozy, rich, yummy, like not gourmand yummy, but like, I don't know, just so unique. So that's kind of what I've been looking for, but maybe not in the like $200+ range. So when I saw the notes on this, I thought it was maybe going to be a little bit more foodie, but I thought I could still possibly layer with this. So we have sugar, milk, rice, raisins, vanilla milk, and nutmeg in here. So I was expecting like a spiced, lactonic, sweet thing. You do get that, but honestly, the sugar and the spices are what hit me first, and it is very sugary. Like it's very, very sweet. I don't get a lot of just that like steamed rice feel. Like I kind of want it to be a little more horchata-y. That's not a super sweet horchata. Does that make any sense? I did see that they do have a horchata one, but now I'm like feeling a little like hesitant because I don't want it to be too sweet. And I know that Dua does a lot of like gourmandy type things. I just thought that I would surely find something that I would want to layer this with, but it's so sweet. It's just starting to like sour my stomach. I just don't love it. And because it is so sweet, I know that I'll never be able to wear it to work. I definitely feel like that's one of those fragrances that you'd have to be very careful who you're around. Okay, so this next one, I found Dirty Soul Soap Company this year through Deandra, and I've been having so much fun trying some of these fragrances. Now, I will say, this is a very fun scent. I just have a weird scent memory with it that makes me hesitant to wear this a lot. So this is Cola Soda. I did just get the Parfum Mist, but from this brand, you can order Parfum Mist and you can also order EDPs, so you have that option. So the notes in this are fizzy cola soda. Like, that's straight, right? And this really does smell like a fizzy sweet cola. It's fun. It's so fun, but I have this weird scent memory, and I talked about this in the haul and like review of these. So when I was a kid and we would ride the bus, when someone got sick on the bus, they would sprinkle this like spicy sawdust thing down. And there is something to this that reminds me of that. Not as much anymore. I do feel like since this is macerated a bit, it's not quite the same, but there's just enough of that it's a little weird for me. This also is so like photorealistic. Both of the soda ones that I have from Dirty Soul Soap Company are so photorealistic that it's more of like a novelty, kind of a fun thing, which is nice because I got them both in the Perfume Mist. So, you know, it's just like a few hours and I'm good to go. It's just like a fun scent experience. I could probably layer with this one more. I do need to play with it a little bit more, but so this is by no means I hate this. It's just I have that wonky scent memory. So, okay, so Exotic Vanillic Spring from Dua. This is another one that isn't bad. It just doesn't add anything to my collection. Like, this has a lot of different fruits in it. I think it had some florals. What I mostly get from this is like, if you were to cut into a peach, a plum, and you were to take out the pit and then let the pit sit out for a little bit, this is like sniffing that pit. We're sniffing pits here, y'all. Not the kind that you're probably thinking about right now. Fruit pits. So yeah, it's just kind of like, underwhelming, I guess I would say. I don't know. Anyway, it's like underwhelming candy and fruit pits. Okay, moving on. So another Dirty Soul soap company. Now this is in the Parfum Mist again. This is You, and it's supposed to be inspired by Glossier You. This is nice. I actually sprayed it on the back of my hand because I was like, if you are just looking for a nice, like, skin scent, something cozy vibes, this is nice. Now, I'll be honest, I was hoping that I would love this just as much as the Glossier You because I do enjoy that. I obviously just wanted something that was maybe a little less expensive. This is nice, but it is not close enough for me to consider it a dupe. It is very much inspired by. The opening, I think, is where these two differ because now it's closer, but the opening of this is more peppery. Like it has a bit more of like a pink pepper. It could even be like a molecular note in here that smells peppery. So the notes on this are iris, powder, musk, and cashmeran. Now, if you're hearing powder and you think like baby powder, you all know I do not love powder. It's just cozy. It's nice. It's nice. It just didn't hit where I needed it to. However, this is like a total, like if I'm taking a night shower and I just want something for a couple hours before I go to bed, I would wear this, but that opening is very like pink peppery to me. So yeah, okay. How am I doing so far? I'm trying to do like 60 seconds or less on some of these, and then like I'll probably have a couple that are a little bit longer. So this one was a whole journey, y'all. It was a whole journey. So this is Lattafa's Ajaib Dubai. This is Portrait. So the black one is Ajaib Dubai, and this is Portrait. So I really was looking for like a mango juicy, but not like a mango smoothie, not super sweet. This is that. There's just something a little bit less than perfect for me in this one. It was really inexpensive. Like I think 20, 25 bucks. I don't even remember. It's got some green notes. This has a little bit of like, I don't want to say ginger, but like it has a little kick in the pants to it. I don't know. I also just did not play enough with this one because I bought it maybe at the end of summer and I was like, this is going to be like a spring summer one for me, and I just didn't get to play with it enough. But I'm very grateful that I tried to buy this, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. Okay, so Paris Corner Kiss a Delicious. Beautiful. Like, I wish I loved the scent as much as I love the bottle. I believe that this is supposed to be duping Sabrina Carpenter's Sweet Tooth fragrance, which I don't think I smelled. It's okay. This is okay. It's, if you like a sweet, fluffy, cocoa, vanilla, I do get a little bit of almond from this. I think I thought there was going to be more almond to this. It's mostly like, and not like cocoa as in like heavily chocolate. It's just very confectionery. It also is very, to me, really, really youthful. I thought maybe I would end up just finding a time and a place for this. This, if anything, is something that I put on before bed. I just don't love it enough. Like, I have a feeling that once I kind of like get done with this video, there are going to be a few of these that I try to like maybe put on my Mercari or something, because I'm like, will I love this enough, or should I pass it along to someone else? Like maybe I'll just let my nieces go through a few of these, because I could see one of my nieces really liking this. The bottle is so pretty. I have a niece who's as much of a rose gold lover as I am. She would probably love this. That will probably be what I do. I will probably see if she wants this, especially because I feel like this one wasn't that expensive, and you know, with Mercari, by the time the fees and the blah blah blah, oftentimes I'm able to get like a new bottle of something for what someone is trying to sell it for. So we're not gonna go there probably. All right, moving right along. Maison Louis Marie number 13. This is Nouvelle Vague. So this is the perfume oil. Now, I got a sample of the perfume mist in one of the like Sephora clean fragrance samplers, and I was like, this is really nice. It just doesn't last that long. Like, it's a clean quote unquote fragrance, those tend to have less longevity to start with. It's also a very fresh, like fig, airy, kind of like green. It's like fig, coconut. I think there's a little bit of coconut in here. It's like coconut water almost. So it's already a very light, fresh scent and just doesn't have as much staying power. So I like the fragrance of this. The perfume oil, of course, does last a little bit longer. I got this for really inexpensive on Ipsy. So glad I have it. It's just something that is definitely like for those days where I'm like, I want to have a little fragrance on, but I don't want everyone around me to be like, okay, Kelly's got fragrance on, you know, which there's a time and a place for that. And it's great to have things like this. It is much more highly priced than I think that it's necessarily worth if you don't get it on a good sale though. So, okay, these next two. So I will say, even when I unloaded all of these to put on my desk in the rankings, I already did some shuffling around from what I had in the notes on my phone. So I don't know if you had me do this all over again or in a different season, I might already choose differently. But literally these two I have gone back and forth on. Okay. So we have two fragrances from Dua. We have Smoked Princeless Princess Cherry, and we have Angelic Cherry Elixir. This is my channel, and so I can do this. I'm just going to put both of these together. So I'm not going to go through the notes on both of these, but I will let you know that this one is a hybrid of Angel Share by Kilian and Lost Cherry by Tom Ford. Now, the Smoked Princeless is a hybrid of Cherry Smoke from Tom Ford and I Don't Need a Prince by My Side, also known as Princess, by Kilian. So here's the thing. When I initially spray these, I definitely like Angelic Cherry Elixir more. It has a little bit more of that like sexy vibe, a little bit more naughty, and it's spicier. Now, the Smoked Princeless, I get a little bit more leather from this, but the opening, there's something in the opening that I was like, nope. But now, like I actually wore this one to bed last night and it was like, oh, this is nice. I've grown to like leather a lot more than I ever thought I would. I will say that. Now that these have dried down, I almost like this one better, the Smoked Princeless. Angelic Cherry Elixir, that initial cherry has like kind of gone away and now I'm getting like spicy baked good, like spicy pie, like a pie that someone put a lot of like cinnamon topping on. Honestly, I probably didn't need either of these because I have a cherry perfume that's coming up later that I went bananas over. It doesn't have bananas in it. It sounds like I'm like kind of giving you a little foreshadowing, but I'm not. But I don't know if I had to do it all over again, if I was able to smell all three of them, I probably wouldn't have gotten these two. I'm going to stop there. Okay, now another Dirty Soul soap company. This is Honey. This again is another parfum mist. By the way, I will say we are starting to roll into the ones where it's like there has to be something in the middle. They all can't be number ones, right? So like these are sort of like my mid-range scents. Now I'm sitting here looking and I'm like, maybe I should jostle these a little bit. The thing that I love about this is exactly what I was expecting from this scent. You know, sometimes you get something that's honey and you're like, oh, this smells like honey and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. No, this just smells like honey. Maybe a little bit of honey and beeswax, which I am here for. I am totally here for. I think this is a great layerable. Absolutely. I think also this is just like very, for me, cozy, yummy vibes without being too sweet. It isn't super sweet. The notes on this are sweet honey and a hint of toasted oats. And I had actually asked the brand, I was like, the toasted oats thing. Because then I was like, is this going to smell like oatmeal with like cinnamon in it? Because I didn't want any spice. And they were like, oh no, it's just very like the oats are like really just like under there. And I would not say that I smell oats from this. This doesn't smell like cereal. It's really nice. I would say I use this more to like layer with other things. It's very fun. It's unique. It's the closest to honey that I have smelled. When I put it on though, I kind of want it to be with something else. So, okay. This was a very great Ipsy deal. I'm glad I got it on Ipsy because I don't necessarily think it was a need for me. This is one that I decided to pick up after I watched a video from Alicia Budget Beauty, and we have very similar scents in a lot of ways. Alicia has a very wide range of scent preferences, which I would say I do as well. I do think that she can get a little bit more into the sweets than I do. Just off the top of my head, I would say that. Like the more gourmands. Okay, so this is Madagascar Vanilla, Cashmere, and Musk. And I think that Alicia had said like campfire toasted marshmallow vibes. Listen, campfire 100%. Like you get that like burning campfire, but it's more the fire, not necessarily the smoke of the fire. Does that make any sense? Woody fire, sweet, but I personally find that like by the fireplace is sweeter than this. There's something almost like I'm getting a little bit of wet wood in this. I don't know. It could just be like the test strip right now, but I am getting a little wet wood in this. It's a fun one. This is again another one that would definitely just be for when I'm going to be at home with Jeremy, if we're like having a date night in, if I could see if we're going for like a winter walk just to have like something kind of like warm, cozy on. This is so strong. This is just one that I personally wouldn't wear around people that I don't know their scent preferences because it could be a love or a hate. This is also 100% a winter fragrance. Now, I will say that I don't feel like the Five Senses fragrance, I have one coming up, I don't feel like they last as long. Again, we're talking about another quote-unquote clean beauty. In fact, I think that the other one I have, I got in the same sampler as I did the Maison Louis Marie, which is hilarious. But this is good. It just was like, got drawn in, and now I'm like, I didn't need this, but I enjoy having it. All right, another two we're going to talk about at the same time. I have Pomme Trompee and Pomme Trompee on the rocks. These are inspired by Kilian's Apple Brandy on the Rocks and Apple Brandy. Now you can tell where these are in the rankings that I like both of these. Again, this is another one like those other two cherry ones that sometimes I'm like, can't decide which one I like more, but I think a lot of it is a vibe. So I will say that I feel like the On the Rocks at the beginning is more fresh. It has more of like a burst of like brightness. The original Pomme Trompee has more of like a casky woodiness to it, but also the very opening of On the Rocks smells more masculine to me. Now that it's like gone down a little bit, it doesn't smell as masculine, but right away I get a burst more of like masculine that could just be like feeling kind of citrusy, but there's just something to that. I'm so glad I have both of these. Like, I definitely wouldn't pay the Kilian price for either of these fragrances, and I think that these come pretty close. I did have, I can't remember if it was On the Rocks or regular Apple Brandy, but I thought that they were pretty close, Okay, so here's the other Five Senses fragrance. This is Life of the Party, and I actually reviewed this in a Scent Sunday on Instagram. So this has black currant and midnight jasmine. There are some other notes, of course, as well. The thing about this is black currant had its moment in the last year, and I was really into it. The thing that I thought that was unique about this one is most of the black currant scents that I have smelled are very deep, rich, like they mean business kind of scents, and this is a little bit lighter. It's a little fresher. This for me isn't just date night. It isn't even just like cooler weather. There's enough of a brightness to this that I think that it's appropriate at any time. The problem with this one is I didn't find that it lasted that long. I got like 3 to 4 hours out of this, and for this little bottle, and I can't remember what the original price was. Again, I got this on Ipsy for a really good deal. I would not have paid that. I said that in the sample. I was like, I love this fragrance. I wish it just lasted a little longer for the price. And then when I saw it come across Ipsy for like $30, maybe $40, I was like, okay, yep, I would do that. So definitely glad to have this one. I think this is a nice way to experience black currant without feeling like super heavy. Okay, this is another one that I just recently talked about in my end of the year haul, I think. I don't even know. But this is Raspberry Candied Violets, and this is from Dua again. This is inspired by Mallow by Soradora, which I think is a pretty well-known fragrance. This, again, thank you, Alicia, for recommending this one. So And I think she might have even said, I think she was like, this might be, you know, a love it or hate it kind of thing. Like, it is going to be a polarizing scent because this definitely has that candy, like pastilles or like Smarties again, I'm going to say like that dry candy, like sugar, like dry sugar candy. The violet is nice. You get the raspberry. This is just fun. It's different. It's girly. It's flirty. This is going to be a fun one to wear in spring and summer. You could also layer it. I definitely want to try this with Fruits of the Tree of Knowledge because that has a raspberry note to it. And I think it would just be fun to kind of like do the two together. It's fun. It's like a little bit fluffy, not too sweet though. I like the fact that it is a little bit on the drier side of sweet, if you know what I mean. Like, it's not like ooey gooey sticky dripping down the bottle. It's like dusted sugar, rock candy type thing, but like not like diabetic coma. Okay. Dua, chocolate wafers and coffee. Listen, I have grown to really appreciate this one a little bit more. I think this was an original. I love the, this is funny that I put these right next to each other. I love the dryness of this chocolate. It is not chocolate syrup. It is not chocolate glazed donut. It is not sticky. It is like the dust, the cocoa powder dust that goes over the top of something. Like, if you missed out on the Blend 83 from Imaginary Authors, or if you smelled that, that to me is a very dry, not sweet cocoa. You know, it's like espresso martini, right? So a little like coffee, chocolate booze thing. This is along those lines. It has a little bit more creaminess to it. It's a maybe a tinge sweeter, but not like bleh. So I find that I can layer this with a lot of things. Like, I could add this to Dulce from by Rosie Jane and get like a little bit more cocoa out of it. I could add this to any vanilla to like give it that little hint of cocoa. If you feel like you have a fruity thing that would go well with something like this, it's great. I like these layerables. I like these like things that you can mix with your other scents. Even just having like one or two in your collection makes you feel like you have that much more fragrance because you can, you know, kind of cocktail and combine them. Very fun one. Okay, Honey Lace Tobacco. Not gonna stick on this one. Talked about this one a lot. This is a dupe, a pretty darn good dupe for Kilian's Back to Black. Now, there's something, I don't know, again, I kind of keep going back and forth. Like, there's something that I like a little bit more in the Kilian one, but then sometimes I'm like, no, I actually think I like this one better. It doesn't matter because this one is like a bajillion times cheaper than Kilian. I like this one. I don't think once I use up my little like vial that I have, and it's not like even like a sample size, it's a little bit bigger, but when I use up the Kilian, I don't think I'd repurchase it. This is nice. Was it a need? No, clearly, because I have that little Kilian sample, but this is a good one. The next one is Honey Kiss Tobacco, again from Dua. This is Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille inspired, which is one of my like all-time favorites. Like, would it be in my top 10? Probably. That is something that I've been challenged to do at some point, is like a desert island, like top 10. I'm going to have to do that at one point. I think that Tom Ford's would be in there. There is something, and it could totally just be like a mental thing. There is just something still more special, unique about the Tom Ford. This comes very, very close. It could just be like, I really almost maybe need a blind, like I need someone to give me samples of both and not know which one. Because maybe I also just want to know that spending that much money on the Tom Ford, I was justified. I don't know, but I'm glad to have this one. Okay, so here's another Dirty Soul soap company. And this, again, when I was talking about like those photorealistic, you better be down for like a unique scent moment. Root beer, absolutely. Like, I remember the day, yeah. Oh man, I remember the first day that I wore this. Jeremy and I were going somewhere, and we hopped in the car, and he was literally like, I smell, something smells like root beer. And I was like, it's me. He's like, huh, weird. I think that was like literally it. I was like, oh, he's like, it doesn't smell bad, but like you legit smell like root beer. Like that's what you want to smell like. I'm like, yeah, I thought it might be kind of fun. I do think that you could cocktail this with like vanilla and make it a little, you know, you could cocktail this with vanilla and make it, I mean, obviously that's going to be like root beer floaty kind of. You could cocktail this with like a spicy scent just to get like a little more sweetness and fun out of it. Yeah, did I get this? Yeah, I think this is the Perfumist. So the notes here are root beer, vanilla ice cream, cinnamon, and clove. Again, cinnamon is not a scent that I want to be super forward in a fragrance like ever. So I don't get that. It's just like that underlying spice. It's a good one. Again, this is another one that I bought at the end of the season that I thought it would be good for, and so I haven't worn this one in a long time. It might be placed higher if I had. So this is Paris Corner Hair Fusion. So this is the lychee one. I think this is supposed to be a dupe for the KLE lychee whatever one. I could be wrong. This is very fun. It's very flirty. It's very fresh. It's fruity. I'm going to have fun playing with this one. It's not too sweet, but it is sweet. Like more like fresh burst sweet, not again like ooey gooey sticky. Right now, I had to put it like almost dead center in the middle because I was like, yeah, I'm going to have a lot of fun playing with this one. I just didn't get to wear it enough. So I also just love the packaging. Like, Paris Corner just does such a good job. I feel like they do a really good job with their dupes, and they also do a really good job making the packaging beautiful. Okay, so we talked before about Lattafa's Ajaib Dubai Portrait. When I ordered that, I got it off of Amazon. When I ordered it, they sent me this one, the original Dubai, instead. And I was like, wrong one. And when I reached out to Amazon, they were like, you might as well just keep it. Like, I think that they know, you know, with having to like send a fragrance back, blah, blah, blah. They were like, just keep it. So I did. And I was like, well, now we're going to open this up. Yeah, I like this one. The thing is I gave this one to Jeremy because I think he would wear it more than me. In fact, he does totally wear it more than me. It's the leather in this that I think makes me want to tip it into a little bit more masculine. It is, for a masculine scent though, fairly sweet. So I do think that this makes a good unisex if you like leather, which is one of those like polarizing scents. It was so funny because the first time Jeremy smelled this, he was like, oh, this is sort of like pineapple, like my pineapple one, which he means the Tiziana Terenzi Orion. That's one of his favorites that I got him at one point, and that has pineapple. They're nothing alike. In fact, I was like, pineapple? No, babe. This is like leather, caramel, like caramelized something. Sure as shit. There's totally pineapple in here. I was like, wow, babe. Good job. Good nose. So I like this one. It is sexy AF on him. It's also a beast, though. There was one time that we went to the movies. I think it was the night we were watching Beetlejuice. And we sat down, and the lady next to me was like, oh my gosh, you smell amazing. And I was like, thanks. But I was pretty sure she meant Jeremy, who's on the other side of me. I didn't say it, but I was like, when we left, I was like, you know that she was talking about you, right? He's like, yeah. And it's kind of a strong one, especially if you were a heavy sprayer. So spray with caution, but it's a nice one. If any of those notes sound good, you can also, you know, look up the full notes. It's leathery. It's a little sweet. It's got some pineapple. It's lovely. It's sexy. I think for anyone to wear it sexy, you could totally, like, honestly, this with the root beer, I'm going to try that. I think that could be really interesting. Okay. Anyway, our next one. This is one of the few, like, what I would say designer fragrances I got. I just have it in a rollerball. This was, again, from another one of those gift sets. This is the Valentino Donna Born in Roma Coral. This is nice. Again, the Born in Roma line is one of the few that I don't find anymore has that very like designer perfume undertone things for me. I like this. It is a little flirty, a little fruity. Yeah, it's got a little shimmy to it. It's like spring, summer, cute, sexy. I like it. It's a little juicy. I don't think it's full bottle worthy for me. I'm going to enjoy that when it's gone. Will I repurchase? Probably not, but I've enjoyed it. All right, this one, I should mention, I think this is the only one that I was sent in PR. Sadly, I end up purchasing most of my fragrance. If anybody out there wants to hit me up with some fragrance PR, Here you go. I don't get many views on these videos, but we could try it. We could try it together, y'all. Okay, so this is the RMS and Heretic Scarlet Moon scent. I love Heretic scents. I think that they are for a specific type of perfume wear because they are pretty unique. But I just think that they do a really good job. And so when RMS was partnering up with them for Scarlet Moon, I was like, I got to get my nose on this. And I was talking to the RMS team just about some other things that they were going to send me. And I was like, hey, by the way, do you have any little samples? Because I'd really like to try that. They were like, oh, we'll just send you one, which is very, very kind of them. You can see that I have a pretty good dent in here. Part of that is because I wore it a lot when this first came out. And also because I was like, you got to try this. I sent this to a few friends because I was like, this is just a fun burst. This is totally a wake you up, smack you in the face citrus scent. It is very much like blood orange, boom. Like, does this have bergamot in it? Maybe. A little woodsy. And by that, I mean like that like freshness. It is quite citrusy. It doesn't last the longest on me. I do kind of wonder if I paired it with something else. The thing is, though, is there aren't many citrus fragrances that I enjoy on my skin because a lot of times they end up smelling like cleaning products on me. It's like, oh, Pledge. This one, it doesn't do that. It stays in that citrusy. This does have like a little bit of a peppery undertone. I do think that this is very unisex. It's like clean girl aesthetic, clean person aesthetic, I guess I should say. I love it. Thank you again to the brand for sending this my way. Can I just say, we're talking about Heretic scents. I want to smell Nosferatu so much, so much. The scent sounds like something I would either really love or really not like at all. And so I didn't. I probably should have like tried to find someone to buy a sample from because I saw that, you know, it went out of stock. They brought it back. Their fragrances are just too expensive for me to do a blind buy on. I was very, very tempted. I was very tempted, but didn't do it. Okay, this one. Again, another fragrance house that I know that usually I love. Commodity hits it home for me with a lot of different scents, especially the ones that they have the scent spaces. So you can kind of choose how bold you want your scent statement to be. So this is the expressive, meaning right in the middle. I knew they were going to do, this is like a strawberry rhubarb scent. I knew they were going to do something fruity that wasn't too sweet, that was mysterious, sexy, adult. I don't mean mature, I mean adult. Like, this is so good. Here's the thing about this. I lost this twice, not once, but twice. I don't know if it's the black, the silver, I don't know what it is, but twice I was like, I can't seem to find it. There were a few days that I was like, I want to wear juice and I can't find it. So this might have been ranked a little higher if I had gotten to wear it a little bit more. I think I traveled with it once and then forgot to take it out of my travel bag. Like, who the hell knows? But I'm excited to give this one more love. I really want to try the personal space, so the one that's a little softer, because I think I might enjoy that. I actually also want to try the bold, but that one might have had patchouli in it, which usually isn't something I love. At any rate, I love me some Commodity. Not sad about trying that one. Okay, we're going to talk about two more Dirty Soul Soap Company scents. I'm going to put these together quickly. You can't get these anymore. I did get these ginormo bottles of the Extrait de Parfum. So these are like definitely their most concentrated scents. They were clearancing out some fragrances at like ridiculously inexpensive prices on scents that they were just like gonna get rid of. So I love anything guava. I love the taste of guava. I love the color of guava. I love the scent of guava if done right. So I was very excited to try this and I was not disappointed. This one has fresh water, they say, orange, pineapple, fruity, green floral, wood, berry, creamed musk, vanilla, sandalwood, and amber. You don't see guava listed in here anywhere. Technically, did we talk about fruity, I guess? But you do get guava from this. It's a fun, flirty scent. I really enjoy this one. I got this one, and when I first smelled it, this is Cactus Dewberry. When I first smelled this, I was like, it's nice. I think I might like, I don't know that it's like, you know, a like love. Maybe I'll pass this along. Like maybe I was thinking, maybe I was already shopping for the Christmas ball for my family. And then like 5 minutes later, I was like, what was I thinking? This is so amazing. Oh, This is just like happiness. This is spring, summer happiness in a freaking bottle. I don't know that it's in stock anymore. If it is, I'll put it here. But when I was reviewing this, I figured it was gone. And when I saw it wasn't, I honestly contemplated getting a backup. Listen, y'all, it's going to take me forever to go through this. I don't need a backup. But I did consider getting one because it was just like, it was something that I love so much. So the fragrance notes in this are cactus, pear nectar, fresh florals, and agave sugar. It's light, it's airy, it's fruity. Again, it's just so fun. Like I see walking through like a prairie, not a meadow that has like too many flowers, but like a prairie, wearing a cute little like white dress, a flowy little dress. I love this. I love this so much. This, it isn't like Ilio from Diptyque. Like it has some of the same notes. They have the prickly pear in here. This one's maybe a little bit more flirty, feminine, maybe a little sweeter, but they both make me so dang happy. So very excited to have that one. I spent a lot less on this than I did on the Ilio, I will say. Okay, I'm already looking at the timing on my camera and I am not making the like 60-second per scent timing here. I'm trying. So Nerissa Rose Musk for her from Maison Alhambra. Another recommendation from Jamie from Not Another Perfume channel. This one's good. It was the plum in this that drew me in. I think this one maybe also has blackcurrant in it. I could be wrong. It's sexy. It's a rose. It's definitely a rose. Like sometimes you can find scents that have rose in it and it's just blended. No, you need to like rose to like this. But this is flirty, fun, sexy. This is a dupe for Narciso Rodriguez Rose Noir. I think that's it. Okay, love it. This next one, listen, I've only worn this one a few times, but the way I feel when I spray this makes me so happy. I had to put it in here up fairly high. So this is from Memoir Archives. I just talked about this in that haul that I did. This is Destination Unknown. We have California Poppy, Agave Nectar, and Desert Marigold. So right at the beginning of this, I think I said, this does give me slight Coach Poppy vibes, but this is sort of like if Coach Poppy and Diptyque's Ilio had a baby. I don't know that this has prickly pear in it, but it sure smells like it does. Like, oh, this is totally like, and it's funny because they say like Destination Unknown. I totally see road tripping in this car, girls trip. We're starting somewhere almost slightly deserty. We're gonna work our way up through the Pacific Northwest. It's tipping into summer. It's not hot, sweaty summer, but it is like, okay, it's like spring. We're going on a real long road trip here. It's spring as we go through the desert and we're going through at night. And then somehow we've spent enough time on the road that we're getting into the summer in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know. It's really nice. I got this and another scent from the same brand for like $25 on Ipsy. I'm telling you, if I can find other fragrances from this brand for a good price, I'm going to snatch them up. I'm so curious. This one doesn't have a super long lasting wear time, but given the notes in here, I wouldn't necessarily expect that. But it's decent. If I have a moisturizer on, you know, I'm not like parched like I am now, or if I spray it on my clothes, I get probably 5 or 6 hours out of this, which given what's in here, I think that works well. And you know what? It just makes me so damn happy when I first put it on. Totally worth it. This is a fun one. Dua's The Dust of Delight. This is a dupe for another fragrance. I talked about it in that fragrance haul. It's vanilla. It's a little sugary, but not too sweet. It is almost a little milky. I don't know how it's doing dry sweet, but it is, but not like when I talked about like raspberry candied violets, not like powdery dry. This is, okay, this is gonna sound maybe a little gross. If I were to make like a milky latte or like a steamed milk drink, because it doesn't smell like coffee. If I were to make a steamed milk drink with caramel and vanilla, and then I were to drink it, and then the cup were to sit out and go cool. It wasn't warm anymore. And I were to smell that. That's what this smells like. Also, I'm wearing a cozy sweater. It's pretty inexpensive too. By the way, I do have a code with Dua. I probably should have said that at some point. I will probably have marked it on the screen, but my code KEEPBEAUTYREAL will always save you. I will also, of course, have my affiliate links down below. I've been pretty darn happy with my Dua purchases, y'all. Almost disappointingly happy, because honestly, it makes me want to keep buying more and trying more, and I don't necessarily need to do that. Also, it makes me much more hesitant to buy more expensive perfumes, which is good, but it's also like there are certain times where I buy something that is more expensive and it ends up being very special to me, which is one that we're going to talk about in a little bit. So I don't know. I'm just going to leave that there. Okay, we're going to talk about these next two together. I do have one that I probably like better than the other. I got them both at the same time. Everybody says you don't need both. Did I get both? Yes. Do you need both? No, you do not. This was my very first Middle Eastern fragrance haul. These are, of course, from Latafa. I don't even know why I'm looking. This is Kamra and Kamra Kawa. The original Kamra is sweeter. It's fun. It's gourmand. It has beast mode. It's really nice. It's sweet. It's a little spicy. Kawa has that little bit of a coffee note. I think this one might also have dates in it. It's a little, you definitely get that like deeper sweet, but the bitterness of coffee cuts through that a little bit, so it's not as sticky sweet. It's deep, datey sweet. You don't need both Kamras by any means. Everyone is right. So I would go through the scent notes and just like, if you like something that's a little more sweet, I do again think that the original is a little bit more sweet. Kawa does not smell like coffee. Like I don't get like coffee house. I don't get coffee out of it. It just like tones it down, makes it a little bit more mysterious. Some people would like that, some people wouldn't. We've spent enough time on those. Moving on. This is Dua's dupe for Acro Bake. This is sweet lemon pastry. Now the reason I got this is my friend Jody sent me a sample of Acro Bake, and I was like, dang, I like that. I didn't expect to like it. It's lemon and it's a sweet baked good smell. I don't usually want to smell like a bakery. There's just something to that. The problem is it does not last that long on me. Like I'm lucky to get 3 hours out of it, and even at the 2-hour mark, all I can smell is a little bit of like vanilla cupcake. Like if I were to somehow magically get my like strawberry shortcake dolls out and there was a doll that just was cupcakey and not strawberry, like from, 30 years ago or whatever, that's what it was. Probably more than 30 years ago. I'm a little older than I think I am. It's like, that's what I get from Bake after a while. It's just like that very, very light cupcakey scent. This lasts a lot longer. They don't quite have the exact same vibe, but they're pretty close. To me, they're pretty close. I love the burst of citrus at the beginning of this one. It's so nice. It's just fun. I never would have thought that I would have liked a lemon pastry vibe. Also, never would have thought I would love this one. So, Puffletuft. First of all, this has to be one of Dua's all-time great sellers, because they have not only the original Puffletuft, which by the way is inspired by Hufflepuff from House of Siage. They not only have this one, but they have so many like flankers / hybrids where it's this with other very like popular fragrances. This at full price is $20. I mean, Dua does 30% off. A lot of the time you can use a code for, a discount at any time. It's crazy. So the notes in this are Italian lemon, coconut, peach, gardenia, freesia, sambac jasmine, bourbon vanilla, vanilla bean, and Virginia cedarwood. When you hear some of the things in here, like you hear gardenia, freesia, and jasmine, you might feel like this is going to be more floral. I don't really get a lot of floral. I feel like it just kind of rounds everything out because in the bottom we have bourbon vanilla, vanilla bean, and then of course Virginia cedarwood. And I feel like cedar is again just something that helps things extend. It helps smooth the scent out. So you have Italian lemon, coconut, peach, fruity. You get that lemon right off the bat. Like I feel like in a way, just that initial sniff of these two is close-ish. And I'm just talking about like when you first get your nose on it, because you have the lemon here and you have the lemon here. The only thing is Puffletuff, then you get into like someone has had something like slow simmering for a while, like those fruits and the bourbon vanilla. It's all just been like melding longer. It's warmer. It's so nice. It's so great. It is very nice. It is very gourmand. So I don't know, there's something about a gourmand to me that just doesn't seem as luxurious as like bougie. But it's so good. It's so good. I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like scents that smell like this is way better than anything you would ever get at Bath and Body Works or something like that. But those types of smells have that very like, I like food smells, I like vanilla smells. This is sort of like that done in the best way possible. It's in my top few, so it's a compliment. Okay. Again, this is one that when I first got it, I was like, oh, this smells a lot like the other ones that I have. And then I was like, no, wore it and I get it. So this is, again, another Lattafa. This is Betty El Oud, Honor and Glory. So again, we've got pineapple here. Okay, these two. So I don't think the Honor and Glory has leather in it. At least I get that more. I get like a suede leathery thing out of the Dubai more than I do this. I definitely get more caramelized pineapple out of the Honor and Glory. I don't think you need both. I really don't think you need both. I think that, again, the Dubai is a little bit more masculine. I think that Honor and Glory is a bit more feminine. But they're both unisex. Definitely, totally unisex. I like them both. This one was a very popular one. We won't stay on it for too long. All right, I just shared this one in my recent haul. This is 100% my most expensive fragrance purchase this year. I just recently got it, but I had a sample that I've been using for a long time. This is the Navitus Lost in a Dream. I'm still going through my Navitus like fragrance sampler. There are a couple in there that are just so good, so fun. I wanted this so bad. I did not want to spend the money, but I wanted this. And after the holidays, they were doing a good sale. Gift with purchase, I got a candle that I talked about in my last video, and I can't wait to burn that. I'm a little nervous to burn it just because of the value of it, but we're going to do it. We're going to enjoy it. So Lost in a Dream, let me tell you about this. We're going to go through these notes. Milk Accord, orange, bergamot, and cinnamon. The heart notes are fig milk, almonds, croissant accord, coffee, marshmallow, jasmine, orchid flower, and amberwood. And then the base notes are tolu balm, Madagascan vanilla, tonka bean absolute, sandalwood, oakwood absolute, and musk. That sounds like a lot, y'all. Let's unpack that a little bit. You've got lactonic notes, you have a bit of citrus, you have cinnamon. Luckily, the cinnamon, I do get that in the opening of it, but it kind of softens out. The heart notes, fig milk, almonds, so you've got that like figgy, creamy vibe. I also find that almonds give kind of like a creamy note. It's not like bitter. Sometimes almond can be bitter. You don't get that from this. Croissant accord. You definitely get the croissant, like that buttery, rich, indulgent feel. Coffee, marshmallow. I get the sweetness of marshmallow, like the airiness of marshmallow, but it's not an overly marshmallow scent. I feel like the coffee maybe just, again, it's just all about balance in here. You have the florals and the amberwood. Again, they all just kind of like round each other out. The vanilla, the tonka bean, that is really giving to that creamy feel. Again, sandalwood usually makes things more creamy. The musk, the oak woods. you have everything in here. You have some gourmand notes, like some really gourmand notes, like croissant. You have some fruity notes. You have some creamy notes, those lactonic vibes. You have skin, like musk vibes. You have florals. You have everything in here, and it would feel like it's going to be a lot. But the thing about this is it is a cozy scent. It's lovely. It's so balanced. It's so balanced. I love the bottle. I love the scent. I've been so happy with this. I'm glad that I picked it up. So it's definitely in my tops. Who knows? If I had gotten it sooner, would it be a little higher? Maybe. I'm not sure. One thing that I am going to enjoy about this is I do think that this is like a fall, straight up into spring scent. You could also get away with it in the summer. It's not so sweet that you couldn't. I just don't think that that vibe is my summer vibe, but you absolutely could. Okay, here we go. Another Paris Corner scent. Now, you might be surprised. This is in my top 4. This is coming in at 4, you guys. We have the top 3 coming up. When I hauled this, I had said, I am very excited to see what this becomes once it's fully macerated, because I was like, this feels like it needs to blend more, and damn did I fall in love with it. Rifficott, this is a Baby Cat dupe. I've never smelled Baby Cat. I have to again thank Alicia and Jamie, because they both talked about, was it like top sexy scents or like top fall? I don't even remember, but they both said that this was hella sexy. That's why I was like, okay. So this is, I did have Jeremy wear it once because it is like a unisex scent. I personally, I love it more on me, which is fine because then I will keep this bottle close to me. But this is like badass woman, means business. Like, she knows what she wants out of life. She is getting it. She is confident, sexy. The leather in this has now blended out. Like, it's become more of like a soft, suede leather. At first I felt like it was kind of like hit you in the face, like whip you in the face maybe. This is so nice. It's so nice. I love it. Like, I love this one. Also, very inexpensive. Totally. Okay. Coming in at 3 is Devil's Vanilla. Very deceiving name from this Dua scent. Now, this is a dupe, and I think it was Diabolique something, so I get where they got that, like in trying to just talk about the dupe. This, I get a very effervescent. This is probably the most fizzy, effervescent, bubbly scent that I have. I'm going to grab Cola. This is a close second. It's so interesting because these really do have some similar vibes, but I think with this one just basically being straight up fizzy cola, it definitely has that, like, it's a little bit brighter at the beginning, but it really is just like your basic sweet fizzy cola. And I don't mean basic in a bad way. I just mean it's pretty singular noted. Whereas this one has orange, Coca-Cola, I'm surprised that they can actually say that, pink pepper, rum, cardamom, dark chocolate, bourbon vanilla, amber, and sandalwood. So you're getting a bit more nuanced sense out of this. Yeah, I get the bourbon vanilla, the amber, the woodsiness comes in at the end. They're both fun. I really kind of need to try both of these together. See, this is great to sit down and like, I should try them together to see how I feel. Okay, we're getting into our top 2. So this one I like better than its dupe. And it's also the reason I bought one of the other fragrances in here. So this was one of my very first Middle Eastern fragrance purchases. This, of course, is another Paris Corner. This is Hair Pistachio, and this, of course, is supposed to be a dupe for the Kayali Yum Gelato Pistachio Gelato Yum, whatever, however that goes. One of the things that I enjoyed about the Kayali scent when it first came out, but that was sort of surprising because it didn't seem like what the vibes were going to be from like the marketing, is that almost soapy, fresh, airy thing. Like, this is lighter than, like, let's say Boom Boom Cream, which is more pistachio-y. Like, it isn't quite as nutty and creamy as what I thought it was going to be. You get the nuttiness, but it's not as ooey gooey as I was expecting. I like this better than the Kaali though. There was something about the Kaali that I was like, this one I think first of all lasts longer. It's way less expensive. I love the bottle. I love the bottle just as much. And yeah, I've just been so happy with this. I find no reason at all to spend more when I can have that. So very happy to have that one. All right, y'all, it is time for number one. And honestly, these top, I would say 5. On any given day, I might change my mind. Now, ultimately, the reason I had to pick this one is it is definitely one of the most unique in my collection. The vibes it gives me when I first put it on, it makes me feel so confident, but feminine, sexy. I don't know. I love this. And this is a compliment getter. Like, I will be honest, I don't get complimented that much. I don't know if that means that I just have very different fragrance like tastes than people. Again, I do try to like not go crazy when I'm at work, but like this one I get compliments on. It's Cherry Hookah, y'all. It's Cherry Hookah from Dua. This is definitely my top pick of the year as far as what I purchased. Okay, so I said that it's unique in my collection, and you're like, Kelly, it can't be that unique because you picked up 2 other cherry scents. Nope, this is so different. So this one has notes of dark cherry, red fruits, salty caramel, vanilla cream, pink sugar, lang lang, precious woods, tonka beans, and amber. Now I picked this up after I got these 2, and I think one of these 2 was suggested by Kara from Beauty and the Frizz, maybe both of them, honestly. And something just like missed the mark for me. And when I saw this one, I was like, I might like this one. Like when I was reading, the description, by the way, this is a dupe for Vice Balm from Simone Andrioli. So there is just something about this. Like the cherry in here is very much deep, sexy cherry. Like it says dark cherry and they mean it. Like almost black cherry. Like it is a little bit fruity. It's not overly sweet. That is what I like about this. This isn't, again, it's not like sticky sweet. It's not like cherry pie filling. I love the woodiness. The tonka isn't too powdery, which I can sometimes get from tonka, and the amber just really rounds it out. This lasts a long time. I love it. Like this is so notable. Like if like, let's say I am just going to, I don't know, run out, do a couple errands and I have a top that I like spray this on. If I come home and change and then I go to put that top on again at some point, I'm like, Cherry Hookah. Like it's just a scent experience. I absolutely love it. And so honestly, considering, now I had a couple Duas further in the bottom, but 1, 2, 3, 4 of my like top 8 are Dua scents. So I've been really happy with my Dua experience. I do need to slow my roll. I think they're a brand that gets you very excited and can be easy to purchase a lot of because they are really affordable. I am going to be good with what I have for a while, but I have really enjoyed it. So that's it, y'all. That is ranking all of the scent that I purchased this year, or at least 90% of it. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know, do you have any of these? Which of these sounds like it would be your top? Is there one that you haven't tried in here that you want to? Is there one that you have tried and you're like, Kelly, gross, that's disgusting, I hate it? Please leave your thoughts down in the comments below because we all know that fragrance is so personal. It's very subjective. So I like to have different views that people can like read through because that's the whole point of having this community, right? All right. If you made it all the way through, you are a rock star. You are a rock star. Leave me a star down below if you ended up catching I think there's like 41 fragrances in here. You're amazing. You all know that I absolutely love doing these fragrance videos. They make me happy. I love fragrance. I hope that they're helpful to you. If they are, please consider giving this a thumbs up and leaving a comment just so that it kind of like gets pumped out through YouTube because these videos don't get a lot of views. I enjoy doing them, but the time that it takes to do all the things, it's just not going to be that worth it if they aren't getting views. And so I might have to cut down my fragrance content here on my channel, which would make me really sad. But if it's not what people want to see, I could just like, I'm already experiencing all of these scents. This is really more for all of you. And if we can get other fragrance fans over here, that would be awesome. All right, I really appreciate you all. I hope you're having a great day and smelling good, and I will see you really soon.